Well, good evening, and welcome back to another episode of Cozy Old School RuneScape Lore. I'm your host, Drifteray, and it's the podcast where we explore the places, the people, the pieces of paper that tell us more about Gielinor, the land of old school RuneScape. Tonight we are continuing our Varlamore region-locked chunk-based Ironlike series, and last time we unlocked a new chunk, which is called Aldarin Coastal Magics. It's the chunk in the very northwest of Aldarin, and after this there's only one chunk left on Aldarin, the one in the very northeast, called Aldarin Docks. So let's start by running over to Aldarin Coastal Magics chunk and seeing what we can find there. Let's just explore it a bit and see what it's like. I'm checking the map. Alright, I'm going to start by running north on the coast, and then we'll loop down through the new chunk. Okay, so I can see that we have the western side of that farm unlocked that has potatoes and onions we can pick. There's sunflowers here, and if I examine them, it says a collection of wild sunflowers. And there are bears here. There's a bear cub. If I examine it, says cute but deadly, and if I examine the big bears, it says eek, a bear. And there are 3 magic trees here. Our chunk task, we only have one for this chunk. It's a cooking task, and it's to make a part wild pie with raw bear meat. So since I need raw bear meat, I might as well attack this grizzly bear here and work on getting that raw bear meat. So the grizzly bear is down now. I'm going to take the raw bear meat and run further south through this chunk. There are 2 bait fishing spots, or small net fishing spots, and not much else. I'm almost done running through the southern part of this chunk, and then we can run up this grass ramp onto the kind of terrace that leads back to that farm that I just mentioned. That's pretty much it. I think we've already explored the whole chunk. So let's get working on this chunk task, and then we can unlock the final chunk and do that one today too. So what I need is a pie dish, and the way of getting a pie dish is buying a pie from I think it's called Sunlight Sanctum Bar here in Aldarin. So I'm going to trade with the bartender, and I'm going to buy a meat pie. It costs 15 coins, but I have plenty of coins. So I'm going to eat that meat pie, both halves, and then I'm going to use the raw bear meat on the pie dish. It says nothing interesting happens. What if I use the pie dish on the raw bear meat? Nothing interesting happens. Well, how do I make a part wild pie? I gotta look this up. Oh, wait, I have a pie dish. Apparently I'm supposed to add it to a pie shell. I didn't even know what the difference was. Oh, I have to make pastry dough and use it on the pie dish. Okay. So I have to figure out where I'm going to get pastry dough. Oh, you just need a pot of flour and a bucket of water, and then you can make pastry dough. Alright, so I gotta run just a little bit south to the wheat field here and pick 1 grain. Pick a wheat, which will give me a grain. Okay, so now I have a grain, and I need a pot. I think there's a pot in the windmill just to the south of here. So let's go get that by climbing up the windmill ladder and climbing up one more time. There is the pot, so I'll take the pot, and now I put the grain in the hopper, And I operate the hopper controls by pulling the lever. Now if I climb down the ladder, and down the ladder again, then there is a flower bin, and if I click empty, it fills my pot with the flour. Okay, so now we need a bucket of water. And I seem to remember that there's a spawn of a bucket of water somewhere in Aldarin. I'm trying to remember where it was. Okay. It's not that. In Moonrise Alchemical Headquarters there's a vial, but that's not what we need. Let's see, over by the winery maybe? Is there a pot here? Or a bucket? Gotta remember this, because every time I need a bucket I have to go pick it up. Oh, I just saw one outside. Okay, so I'm going to climb up the staircase. I'm going to pick up this bucket off the ground beside the well. Alrighty, and now I have to take it over to the fountain in the middle of town to fill it with water. And I'm out of run energy, but that's okay. Alright, I'm going to use the bucket on the fountain. I could have just used it on the well back there. Oh well. Oh well. I'm going to use the pot of flour on the bucket of water, but I don't have enough inventory space, so let's drop the raw bear meat, use the pot of flour on the bucket of water, and I have to say make pastry dough. I use the pastry dough on the pie dish, and now I have a pie shell, and that frees up an inventory slot so I can pick up the raw bear meat I dropped, and now I can use the raw bear meat on the pie shell. Okay, and that makes a part wild pie with raw bear meat in it. So that is the only task for this chunk complete. And that means we can roll another chunk. There's only one chunk that we have eligibility to roll because I'm limiting myself just to Aldarin until all of Aldarin is complete. So I'm gonna... I clicked roll and it just immediately showed me that chunk, so I'm going to unlock it. And our new chunk is called Aldarin Docks, and there are there's just 3 tasks here. Hold on. Possible tasks. Okay. Yeah, it's just 3 tasks. Okay. So I'm going to calculate those so they're in my task list. Okay, first of all, we just have to burn logs. So I think I'm probably going to have to buy a tinderbox from the general store. But I'm also going to have to get logs, so I need an axe. I think I'm going to have to make an axe in Mistrock using the anvil there. Oh, and I have to, on my map, or my Ironlike plugin, I have to unlock our new chunk. So that is chunk 5678. 5, 6, 7, 8. Nice consecutive number. Here we go, now we have it unlocked. I guess I'm interested in just getting going on our tasks, but we haven't even explored the chunk yet. I'm going to look at where the chunk boundaries are. Okay, so I just entered it. There's a water source just inside the chunk. That is another fountain. And then I can follow the kind of terraced landform to the east, past some green skinks, and if I go all the way to the east, there's just a cypress tree here and a bird. Okay, so we already explored that part. Now, oh, there's a pot of flour inside a building here that I'm seeing, so I don't have to pick wheat anymore to get grain to make flour with. I can just pick up a pot of flour anytime I need it, so that's nice. So I'm going to drop the pot, freeing up another inventory space. I'm probably going to need to drop that part wild pie to free up inventory space. And now we're in the Aldarin Docks kind of part of town, so I'm going to... Oh, there's a vegetable stall and a gem stall. Okay, that's good. Well, and the gem stall is the gem shop I was referring to before. I didn't realize it was just a stall. But I'm going to trade with the... Well, first I need to talk to the shopkeeper in the general store. They say, what can I do for you, economy? I'm going to say, what do you have for sale? Take a look, and that is all of that dialogue there. Okay, now I can buy buckets here. Yeah, I mean, it's a general store. It has a bunch of stuff, including buckets, ropes, pots, jugs. So maybe I can make wine? Can I make wine with my grapes? I'm going to buy one jug, and my grapes are noted, so can I unnote one? Maybe I'll do that in a second. I did want to sell the 2 Eclipse red wines that I had. Okay, the shop buys them for only 400 coins each, but I'll do that just so I free up my inventory. There we go. And so just got a little bit of money from that. And okay, I definitely need a tinderbox so I can make a fire and burn logs. And I can't buy an axe here. Okay, that's alright. But it has like a needle, thread, pestle and mortar, and a knife. So like a chisel, a lot of new items opened up to me. That's nice. And let's talk to the gem merchant. I don't know where they are. Wait a minute. Oh, maybe it is an actual gem shop and not just a gem stall merchant, because I'm going to talk to Tosi here. Yes, and they say, looking to trade gems? You're in the right place if so. I'm going to say, let's trade. Because, remember, I have 12 uncut rubies. Oh, how much are they going to buy an uncut ruby for? 70 coins? What if I cut it by buying a chisel in the general store first? I want to see if that ups the value for the shop. So I'm going to get a chisel and use the chisel on the ruby. And I'll just cut one. Now I'm going to go back to Tosi. Oh, wow. Yeah, it increased the value tenfold for cutting it. So I'm going to sell a ruby. But also, one of my tasks is to cut ruby bolt tips. So let me cut one more ruby into a regular ruby, and then use the chisel on it again. And I made bolt tips, ruby bolt tips. There we go. So that is a chunk task done. Now, what I want to do is I want to cut the rest of the rubies and then also cut the diamond that I got so that I can get some nice money by selling them to the shop. And this might be our best money makers, to loot the chest in the Aldarin mansion and then cut the rubies with a chisel and you know, whatever gems we get, a diamond too, and then sell them to the gem shop. I'm just doing this to free up my inventory, so I think I'm just going to sell all of them. I don't really want to world hop right now. And also sell a diamond. So now we have 170,000 GP. It's pretty nice. Okay. I doubt I can, but can I sell the bolt tips? No. Can I sell the bolt tips to the general store? It's really nice to have a general store unlocked now. Yeah. General store will buy the ruby bolt tips for 26 coins. Oh, each. So I'll sell all 12 of them. Wow, we have so much more inventory space now. This is pretty nice. I think I'm going to just drop the... Oh, I was going to say I was going to drop the part wild pie, but... Oh, no, the general store will buy it for 2 coins, so I might as well do that. And... I'm going to put all my tools and things on the right side of my inventory. And let's run to the bank to unnote the grapes. Actually, yeah, let's just unnote one grape and see if I can make wine with it. I think I have to fill the wine jug with water first, so I'll do that on my way to the bank. And I'm not actually banking here. I'm just going to use the item on the bank teller to turn a note into one item. I'm not actually going to open the bank interface because that's not in line with this series. Okay, fill the jug with water, and then don't use the bank, use the grapes on the banker. A note? Yes. Okay, so now I have 5 grapes, and I'm going to use one of them on the jug of water. Okay, the wine begins to ferment, so in, I don't remember how long, but maybe like 30 seconds or something, it's going to turn into wine and give me some cooking XP. So now I have a way and a method of getting wine. Oh, it already did. I think it's done. Yep, now it's a jug of wine. So that is probably my highest healing food I have access to right now. I can't remember how much wine heals, but I think it might be like 12. So that's pretty good. And I'm going to use the grapes on the banker again. Wait, what? Use grapes on banker. Oh no. I thought I could note items here. I don't think I can. Okay, so that's interesting. You can only unnote things, so I should really leave things in note form until I'm ready to use probably all of them anytime. Okay, and then what else do I need to do? I need an axe so I can chop a tree. So let's run down into Mistrock. Let's get some iron. I don't know how many iron bars I need. Let me look at the smithing guide. Iron axe is just 1 bar, so I don't need a world hop. I can just go upstairs in Mistrock, grab the iron bar spawn, then go to the anvil nearby and make it into an axe. And I will be able to chop and burn some logs. So let's go upstairs, climbing up the staircase, and there's my iron bar. Oh, huh. There's logs in here too. I didn't even know that. I'm going to drop the iron bar because I don't even need to cut a tree. I can just light the logs that are just a spawn here on the ground. Done. Okay, we burned some logs, so that is another chunk task done. The last chunk task is to get our melee best in slot head item, and that is a Tyrus helm, and that's going to be in the docks chunk. So let's go back there, let's explore the rest of the chunk, talk to everyone, and then let's get our Tyrus helm to finish off Aldarin. It's kind of exciting. We've been here for a little while, and I really like Aldarin, but I'm excited to go to the Sunset Coast and start exploring the Varlamore mainland. Okay, coming back to the docks, and first I want to see if there's any NPCs that are new that we can talk to and maybe get some dialogue. There's another tourist, but I think that's probably going to be the same dialogue we had before. I'm going to go into the room that has a pot of flour and climb upstairs. Anything? There is a bowl spawn on the table, so that's nice. That's 1 bowl spawn we can use whenever we need a bowl. So I probably can't actually trade in the... Oh wait, I was going to say I probably can't actually trade in the vegetable stall, but it's actually, yeah, both of these stalls are just outside themed shops, or specific shops, so it's just a aesthetic or cosmetic stall in front of the food shop. So now I can talk to Faustus in the food shop. Faustus says, Nilsal, interested in buying some of Aldarin's finest fruit and veg? And I say, yes, please. And, okay, well, I don't need to harvest grapes anymore. This shop stocks so much produce, including grapes. So anytime I want to make wine, I can just buy grapes here, and it's a pretty easy source. So I'm going to actually... Oh, they won't buy my grapes for any money. I'll probably just hold on to the 4 I have until I run out of inventory space. This is great. There's cooking apples. I can make apple pies if I want to. I wonder if there's enough fruit here that I could make a summer pie. What do you need to make a summer pie? Let me check the cooking log, or cooking guide. Summer pie. Oh, you need 95 cooking. I don't have that much cooking. Okay, that's good to know. But maybe there's... Yeah, I could make an apple pie. I wonder if I could make a garden pie. It's weird because this guide in particular doesn't let me right-click to show the materials I need, but some of the guides do. For example, I think the construction guide lets you just say to right-click an item in the guide, and then you can just see what materials it shows you. But there's also botanical pies. I wonder what you need to put in that to make it. Anyway, okay, I have the means of making some pies, and I'm just going to look at the food in this shop one more time. Onions, potatoes, tomatoes, so we don't even need the farm to get onions and potatoes. There's cabbage, then there's unstocked various like fruits and things, but so it's like they would buy them, but you can't actually get them from the shop because they're out of stock always. So they'd have to be overstocked to buy them, but you probably can't buy them if they're overstocked by someone else. It's probably for an Ironlike. It's probably you can just sell those items to them. But anyway, they have cooking apples. These are the things they have in stock: cooking apples, bananas, oranges, lemons, limes, pineapples, red berries. So yeah, now I covered everything in there. And let's run upstairs in this building. And nothing upstairs that I can see. Oh, but there's an upstairs in the general store, and I just saw on the map that there's an item spawn there. So let's go see what that is. So if I climb up here, oh, it's a jug of water. Okay, so if I just need like one like to make one wine or something sometime, I could just come up here and grab the jug of water. It just saved me the step of buying a jug and then filling it with water. But if I want to make a bunch, I would probably just buy them, fill them, do that sort of thing. Okay, now let's go upstairs in the gem shop, see what's up there. And no spawns, not really anything. Okay, so I'm going to climb down that ladder. And there's also a well here on the docks. There's a statue that is a teleport you can use with the Pendant of Etez, but I don't have that unlocked in this series, so I'm not going to be able to use that teleport location until much, much later. And I think the only real other thing... Oh, there's an oak tree here to the north. There's a couple oak trees, that's nice. Good to know. Here's the house portal, but I haven't decided if I'm going to let myself use my player-owned house in this series or not. I need to think about it more and if it kind of fits the theme. But now I'm going to go out onto the docks and see who I can talk to. There is a fisher I could talk to. They're holding a net in their hand. I'm saying, hello there, how's it going? They say, hello, nice day for fishing. That's it. There is a sailor I can talk to. They say, hello there, how's it going? And they say, sorry, but I am busy right now. Alright, let's talk to Antonia, who looks to be a charter ship person. Oh no, this is how I get to Sunset Coast. Hello there, interested in sailing to Sunset Coast? It's 20 coins for the journey. And I say, no thanks, because not right now, because I haven't finished unlocking that chunk. They say, fair enough. And who else can I talk to? I'm going to talk to a trader crew member. Okay, and this over here, these people, these trader crew members are who I would do charter ships with. They say, can I help you? And I'm going to say, yes, who are you? I am one of Trader Stan's crew. We are all part of the largest fleet of trading and sailing vessels to ever sail the seven seas. If you want to get to a port in a hurry, then you can charter one of our ships to take you there, if the price is right. So, where exactly can I go with your ships? We run ships from Port Phasmatis over to Port Tyrus, stopping at Port Sarim, Catherby, Brimhaven, Musa Point, Port Khazard, and more besides. We might dock at most harmless once in a while, as well, if you catch my meaning. If you visit a lot of ports, I take it you have some exotic stuff to trade? We certainly do. We have access to items bought and sold from around the world. Would you like to take a look, or would you like to charter a ship? I don't even know if I knew this, that you could trade with them. First I'm going to say, isn't it tricky to sail about in those clothes? Tricky? Tricky? With all due credit, Trader Stan is a great employer, but he insists we wear the latest in high fashion, even when sailing. Do you have even the slightest idea how tricky it is to sail on this stuff? Yeah, okay, that's what I was saying. The trader crew member is wearing like a full suit with like a big collar. Some of us tried tearing it and arguing that it was too fragile to wear on a boat, but he just had it enchanted to restitch itself. It's hard to hate him when we know how much he shells out on this gear, but I fall overboard because of this. Get up one more time, I'm gonna quit. Wow, that's kind of harsh. Anyway, would you like to take a look at our exotic wares from around the world, or would you like to charter a ship? I'm gonna say, let's see what you're trading. Oh yeah, and this is where, like, iron accounts train, like, crafting and stuff by getting glass blowing pipes and buckets of sand and stuff. Oh, and this is where I can get the Tyrus Helm, which is our last chunk task, so I'm going to buy that. It was 1,375 coins. And we have some more, like, utility items, but a lot of them are in the general store. But they have a lobster pot, so I could fish lobsters now that I can buy that. That's good to know. Oh, and they have a fishing rod. I don't know if I could use that because there's no bait, but it's good to know. Okay. Great. Alright, so I'm going to put on the Tyrus Helm, and we are wearing our new Best in Slot helmet. And that is all the tasks in this chunk complete. Great. Now I'm just gonna see where I can charter the ship to. Okay, so when we unlock Civitas Illifortis on the other side of the Varlamore mainland, we could do a charter ship from there to Aldarin, but I don't think I'm going to be able to use any other charter ships in the entire game on this series, because that's the only one in Varlamore right now. But that's good to know about. Kind of quick travel between Civitas and Aldarin, although I also have to decide if I'm going to let myself use my Quetzals. I think I'm going to, because they're unlocked within the region and used within the region, so I think I might just let myself do that, and it's not really a big gameplay thing, it's just kind of a convenience thing, so yeah, I'm thinking I'm going to do that, but I haven't totally decided yet. But if I don't, or if, you know, there's just another reason why it'd be helpful to sail between the two on a charter ship, Civitas and Aldarin. Alright, well, I think that's everything. Oh no, I can run through the fence just to the south and go into just a little kind of alcove by the sea, by the docks. Alright, so I did that. There wasn't much there. I think we fully explored everything. Well, I don't know. It feels kind of short, but I think that's fitting for this episode. I am going to unlock the next chunk and look at what the tasks are, and then in the next episode we can do that. That's the Sunset Coast, so I'm going to unlock Sunset Coast because we did all the chunks on the docks here. And then we're really going to be able to get going by exploring the mainland, because now that I unlock Sunset Coast, I see that there's two chunks diagonally, or like orthogonal to Sunset Coast, and once I get either of those two, then each of them is going to have additional orthogonal chunks next to them, and so like the available chunks are going to start to really kind of like rapidly expand each unlock, way faster than Aldarin, because Aldarin was a very tight, constrained place, where it's like I couldn't unlock like a sea chunk because I can't even go there, and so it was just like kind of just like one chunk at a time, or sometimes two were available. Alright, so now that Sunset Coast is unlocked, let's calculate the task. Chunk, wait, what? The map says select the sections of the chunk you currently have access to. This helps the website be much more accurate when generating correct chunk tasks. Oh, interesting. I have never seen this interface before. Why wouldn't I have the whole chunk unlocked? Oh, hold on. Well, let's just start with section 1 and say I can access section 1, but it looks like maybe section 2 and 3, based on the highlights on this map, are like probably places I could only get to if I run to them from other chunks, so I'm going to just say section 1 for now and save that. And now it's calculating the chunk tasks, and there are a bunch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 skilling tasks, and 1, 2, 3, 4 best in slot tasks. And so that's 9 total tasks. And I'm going to replace my best in slot helm just in our next chunk, because the next chunk, one of the best in slot tasks is obtain an adamant full helm. So that's pretty interesting. Oh yes, it's good that I did say just section 1 I have access to, because I would have to run outside of the chunk to get to the 2 other sections. So I'm really glad they have that functionality built in, because it's like I have the chunk unlocked, but I actually can't access 2 parts of it, 2 like areas of walkable tiles, because I would have to go into other chunks first to get there. So I'm glad that they've thought that through. That's pretty good. Yeah, there's some big, there's some like kind of big things here, like U-Shield, magic logs, magic shield, raw lobster. That one's, that'll be good. Okay, so yeah, at the dock I could buy the lobster cage, or whatever it's called, and then fish for lobsters. So that'll be probably my best food that I can have, which is even better than wine, and wine has negative effects and lobster doesn't. So that'll be my best food I have so far, and then I'm going to have adamant full helm, adamant medium helm, blue wizard hat, and magic shield. So, and I'm going to get the magic shield by chopping a magic tree and then fletching the magic shield. So all in all, I'm excited, both for like the things we unlock in this chunk, but then also for like the adventure we're going to get to go on now that we have access to the mainland. So that's great. But yeah, I think that's everything we can do for now in this chunk, and I want to save the next one for the next episode, and it's probably going to take me a while to make that episode. I'll try to make other ones off series in the meantime, so I'm still uploading something, but I'm probably going to be like, working on the skills and stuff, or, just the things I have to do in that chunk for a while. But I'll just upload all of that in one episode that I talk through the next time I return to this series in an episode. But anyway, that's going to do it for this episode of Cozy Old School RuneScape Lore. Today we finished 2 chunks. We did the Aldarin Coastal Magics. Oh, and it's called that because of the 3 magic trees there. That's good to know. Aldarin Coastal Magics, and then the Aldarin Docks. We made a part wild pie with raw bear meat. We got a Tyre's helm as our best in slot helmet. What else did we do? I'm going to look at my completed tasks. And yeah, we cut ruby bolt tips, and we burned some logs, because we finally had access to a tinderbox. Oh, that was nice. I'm really glad that we finally have all of Aldarin unlocked. I'm going to mark the new chunk unlocked in my Runelite plugin. Okay. Nice progress today. Well, thank you so much for listening and joining me on this next step in our adventure here in Varlamore. And I'm going to say that I hope you have such a good evening and that you sleep so well. And I'll say good night and goodbye for now.